How did ancient humans cut their hair without scissors? The mystery begins. Have you ever stopped to wonder? Who gave the very first haircut in human history? Not the first barber. Not the first hair salon. Long before mirrors, long before scissors, and thousands of years before metal even existed. How did ancient humans stop their hair from growing forever? Think about it. If you were born 100,000 years ago, your hair would begin growing just like ours does today. A few months pass, then a year, then 5 years. Eventually, your hair should be hanging down your back, maybe even reaching your knees. But that's not what archaeologists see in ancient artwork. It's not what scientists reconstruct from prehistoric humans. So where did all that hair go? Did they simply let it grow? Did they tear it out by hand? Did someone invent the world's first haircut using nothing but a sharp rock? The answer is stranger than you might expect, because the first barber wasn't a barber at all. A problem every human shared. Hair has always been part of being human. Whether you live in a modern city or survived during the Ice Age, your hair follows the same rules. It keeps growing. Now imagine living in a world with no scissors, no razors, no electric trimmers, not even a mirror to see the back of your own head. How would you cut your hair? It sounds like a small problem, but for ancient humans, it wasn't. Long hair could become tangled in branches while hunting. It could freeze during winter. It could become filled with mud, insects, or parasites. Even worse, imagine trying to escape a predator while your hair catches on a bush. Would you really risk your life just to avoid getting a haircut? Probably not. Which means humans needed a solution. And surprisingly, nature had already provided one. The sharpest knife before metal. Here's something that sounds impossible. Some stones are sharper than modern surgical blades. Yes, really. When certain rocks like flint or obsidian break, they don't form rough edges. They form edges so incredibly thin that under a microscope they're almost invisible. Modern scientists have even used obsidian blades during delicate medical procedures because they can make cleaner cuts than steel. Now imagine an ancient hunter picking up one of these broken stones. He slices animal skin with ease. He cuts rope made from plant fibers. Then one day, he notices something. The stone cuts hair too. No invention. No grand discovery. Just curiosity. Could the first haircut have happened completely by accident? Nobody knows. But it's certainly possible. Who cut whose hair? Here's another mystery. Even if someone had a sharp stone, how do you cut the back of your own head? You can't see it. You don't know if it's straight. One wrong movement could leave a deep cut instead of a fresh haircut. So maybe ancient humans didn't cut their own hair at all. Maybe someone else did. Imagine a small family gathered around a fire after sunset. The hunt is over. Food is cooking. An elder carefully uses a sharp flint blade to trim another person's hair while everyone talks. Not because they cared about fashion, but because they cared about survival. That simple act may have created something much bigger than a haircut. It may have strengthened trust. After all, you only hand someone a razor-sharp stone if you trust them completely. Could the world's first barber actually have been your closest friend? The world's first barber. So, who really gave humanity's first haircut? The truth is, we'll probably never know. There isn't a fossil labeled first barber. There isn't a cave painting showing the very first trim. History rarely preserves moments that ordinary. But the evidence tells a powerful story. Ancient humans had incredibly sharp stone tools. They lived in groups built on trust. They groomed one another. They removed parasites. They likely trimmed hair for comfort and survival. And somewhere around a campfire, long before cities, long before kingdoms, long before scissors, someone probably picked up a sharp stone, looked at another person's overgrown hair, and said nothing at all. They simply began cutting. That quiet moment may have been the very first haircut in human history. Not inside a barbershop, not in front of a mirror, but beneath the open sky, with nothing but a sharp piece of stone, and another human willing to trust them. Maybe that's the real mystery. The invention wasn't the scissors. It was the trust. And every time you sit in a barber's chair today, you're taking part in a tradition that may have begun tens of thousands of years ago, beside a prehistoric campfire, with the world's first barber holding nothing more than a rock.